I think I have recovered, though I'm not for sure. Oh, I don't even have the second thing. Okay, so I'm going to do a little recap. Just to see all this. Izuku's starter plusle. He has 2 badges, as of the last part. He has, his starter plusle. He has a Fletchender. He has a Muna. And there's Bakugo. His starter's an Incineroar. He has 2 badges. Pokemon Salandit Male Shiny. There, Grapple Lock. Those are his Pokemon. And there's Mina. Her Pokemon are Bellsprout, Shinx, and Inkay. And Shoto. His Pokemon are Auxiliary Magcargo and Feebas. There's Shigaraki. He is the Grand Admin of Team LOV. And his starter's Minun. And his other Pokemon are Bryxon, Honage, and Sneasel. Okay, so now that everyone is back up to stats, I think I can do this without flatlining out of consciousness. On the way to the 3rd gym, Izuku, Mina, and Shoto find themselves facing sort of a roadblock, you could say. Whenever Mina shows them the map, Shoto points out something very obvious. It was already very obvious to Izuku and Mina that the next thing before they can get to the next gem is the Shimura Heights. And, well, Mina is just looking at Izuku, and Shoto's looking at Izuku, and Izuku just finally just spills it. He doesn't know anything about the Shimura Heights. You know, Mina acts really surprised. Shoto's just like, well, shit, I guess history lesson. Basically, he speaks about how there was once a very powerful trainer, though her power was in a different way. It was very powerful, but it was powerful in a different way. Her name was Nana Shimura, and that's why it's called the Shimura Heights. It's named after her. There's even a big freaking statue right in the middle of the entrance to basically the gate of the heights. And there's also it is also said that before Nana died, she released her last Pokemon that she had ever trained. it was a very strange Pokemon, to say the least. Strange as in, it didn't really like humans, but Nana, with her warm heart, was able to help this Pokemon calm itself. However, Nana training it meant that it was away from its three other counterpart Pokemon. The three other Tapus. Tapu Lele, Tapu Bulu, and Tapu Koko. And Mina's like, wait, but that must mean that, and Shoto was just like, yep. And Izuku's like, Tapu Fini? Nana Shimura's last Pokemon that she released was Tapu Fini? And Shoto's like, yep. And Mina's like, oh, wow. So it's sad that it still roams around here? Somewhere? And Shoto's just like, yep. Well, we best hope that we don't run into Tapu Fini, though. We wouldn't want to piss it off. I mean, it is one of the Tapus. And Mina's like, well, I don't know. I mean, Izuku did meet Tapu Koko. How mad could, Tapu Fini possibly get at someone who had met one of their counterparts? And Shoto's like, if Tapu Fini is anything like a human, you would be surprised. And Izuku just is like, well, Tapu Fini or not, we still have to go through these Shimura Heights before we can enter the Darkness Cavern, which will lead us to you know where. Our next gym badge, that's where. And Mina's like, the Darkness Caverns? And Shoto's like, I hear they're somewhat mixed in with the Shimura Heights. And he was like, well, how the hell did that happen? And Mina's like, yeah, how the hell did that happen? And Shoto's just like, well, this just seems to only be legend, but apparently, how am I supposed to say this without sounding crazy? Tapu Fini found something, and it made it angry. That something wouldn't leave, and so the two things, Tapu Fini and this other creature, fought. And their fight is what created the mishmash of the Shimura Heights and the Darkness Caverns. And Izuku's like, I wonder what the other thing was. And Mina's like, probably some Pokemon that's also very dangerous. And, you know, it's just like, freaking, they just move on and head on towards just the big area where they're going through the heights. But they end up bumping into someone. Well, hello there. And Shoto is the first one to notice, Gang Orca? Wait, aren't you the gym leader? Yes. However, I am here at the Shimura Heights for very important business. And Mina's like, very important business? And Gang Orca's just like, yes, it has something to do with one of my Pokemon. And Izuku's like, one of your Pokemon? And just, it would just be so crazy. It's like, first they hear about Tapu Fini, then they hear about another whatever fighting against Tapu Fini, and then they see the freaking gym leader of the next gym right in front of their faces. And Gang Orca is also like, oh, by the way, you kids, you wouldn't happen to hear of any Team LOV? Yes, they've been causing a massive ruckus amongst the radio tower that's at the very top level of the Shimura Heights. And Mina's like, what? They finished construction of that thing? Don't they know it's kind of, messing with the original design? If they just put some tower up there and try to, what are they gonna try to do next? Form a freaking highway or something over it? And Shoto is just like, what to do about the radio tower and Team LOV? Yeah, we actually have met them before. And so, by all accounts, this is our business too. And, it's just crazy. And Shizuku's like, yeah, we're totally gonna do this. And, Gang Arc is just like, well then, I hope that you three know what you're doing. Because it's very dangerous to go high up in the levels ever since they've been doing their operations. All sorts of sparks have been going off, and it's been unsettling a certain Pokemon that used to live very close to here, and once battled the legendary Tapu Guardian, Tapu Fini. Like, Island Guardian, Tapu Fini once did battle with Tapu Fini. And Mina's just like, what? We heard about a Pokemon doing battle with Tapu Fini, and that battle created the whole, like, collaboration with the Shimori Heights and the Darkness Caverns. And Gang Orca would just be like, oh yes, the Pokemon, its name, Raikou. And Izuku's like, what? That's one of the Pokemon of the Legend of the Burned Tower of Johto region. Raikou was the one fighting Tapu Fini? But why? And Gang Orca is like, that's why. well, basically, that's what a couple people, researchers around here, were trying to find out quite some time ago, but they all went missing. I also suppose that could also be doings of Team LV, or maybe not, but I don't really know how that much about this. Anyways, if you wish to battle me, you'll have to wait till you get to the gem. That's what I'm planning on doing. Unless you have any water Pokemon with you, you won't be able to take the shortcut. And he's like, go, Wilmer! Wilmer, Will. And he's just like, Wilmer, surf. And they're just like, up the freaking heights. And Izuku's just like, oh, I don't have a freaking water Pokemon to spare. And Izuku's like, oh, and the whole surf thing? Uh, and Mina's just going crazy, freaking out like, we're gonna be stuck here forever. Basically, like, they come across Bakugo while they're just pacing around in the middle of nowhere, trying to figure out what to do. And Bakugo's just like, hey, Zuko, I hear you're having problems navigating the heights. Well, that's why it would be nice to know where some good catchable water Pokemon who have the ability to learn the move Surf would be nice. Huh. Well, you snooze, you lose. And Izuku's just like, wait, water Pokemon? The heights is literally an uphill waterfall. Uh, somewhere around here we should be able to find a water Pokemon that can learn Surf. And freaking, like, Shoko just hears squirt, squirt, squirtle, 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 squirt, 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 squirtle. And freaking Mina's like, over there! It's like, objection! And, Mina and Shoto would just be shocked by this sudden appearance of this Squirtle. But Izuku would, like, see this as the biggest opportunity. Like, he'd just be like, I am in the biggest belief that this could be a big breakthrough. Okay. Do I have any Pokemon that are good against water types? Fletchinder? I don't think so. Um, Luna? I'm not sure either. And Puzzle would just have been like napping in his backpack, and just by hearing Izuku mumbling to himself about a Pokemon that would be good against a water type, it's just like, hello, I exist! And just like discharge. and, and it would also hit Squirtle as well. But the discharge would have been from a longer distance, the actual one that hit Squirtle. And basically, the whole deal, like, Squirtle gets up, and it's just like, Squirtle, squirt, squirt, Squirtle! And you just see it put on some glasses. And this is actually one of the Squirtles. I'm going to headcanon the hell out of this. So this is actually one of the Squirtles that was in the Squirtle Squad episode. Not the Squirtle that Ash caught. This is one of that Squirrel's buddies that became a part of like an elite firefighting force. Well, eventually, all the others went into retirement. But this Squirtle, no, this squirrel was aiming for bigger and better things. So didn't really see retirement as an option, but there was no real other place for it to go because it didn't have his buddies with him. So, so since his buddies weren't really around with him, and he wouldn't be as effective without his buddies in the firefighting force thing, you know, it's just like squirtle, squirt, and he just has freaking sunglasses like the freaking Terminator. Actually, no, Arnold's were square. the the other Squirtle's sunglasses were all circular. And you know, Izuku remembers hearing a story like about like Squirtles that were abandoned by their trainers, and eventually became the Squirtle Squad. But eventually, after a whole ordeal ended up happening, they became like the basically the whole ordeal with Squirtle Squad. Izuku remembers being informed about that before in his life. He doesn't remember where, he just remembers hearing about that. And he's like, wait, you're wearing. Uh, are you one of the members of the Squirtle Squad? I thought you guys went into retirement. You must have been rogue. Well, you must still be rogue. Not for long. Plus, well, thanks for giving me that back to reality stuff that I needed. And Plus was like, plus a plus! Like, hell yeah! Like, this is what I'm talking about. We're fighting a starter. A freaking starter. This starter versus starter, because technically Puzzle is Izuku's first Pokemon, so therefore starter. So yeah, starter versus starter. And like Squirtle, after getting like that discharge, it's turn to move now. And so it's basically Squirtle starts using water gun, but it jumps up and starts going like using freaking rapid spin in succession with water gun, and so it basically it turns itself into a water shuriken and just launches itself at Plusle. But Plusle jumps into the air, and whenever like Squirtle eventually like sends out its other body parts out of its shell, it gets a good smack on the noggin, Iron Tail style. Plus, I use Iron Tail, like smack, and just like Squirtle's like Squirtle, Squirt, and Squirtle ends up like Squirtle, 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 and Squirtle like just ends up like it's almost like boom, like a giant explosion, like it got so angry it exploded. But what actually happened is, well, War Turtle War. And Izuku's like, what the? War Turtle? Squirtle evolved in mid battle? And Shoto's like, my Slugma did that, you frick. He's just like, my Slugma did that before. How do you think I had to mag cargo? And it's just like Plusle's there, and War Turtle's there, and War Turtle is about to go for a bite, like a freaking bite, like about to go in, and Plusle is just like dodging, just dodging at every turn, and even sometimes getting in an Iron Tail to the tooth, and just like smack, 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 just like Goku versus Frieza, smack, 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 like ow, and War Turtle is just like, whoa, and basically then like it feels like the ground is about to explode, but then all of a sudden you can just hear like the collective water from the heights just forming around War Turtle and then sending it upwards jutting upwards, and then down. And Plusle's like, Plusle, plus? And Izuku's like, it knows surf. It's like, oh my god, War Turtle knows surf. And, it's like, Plusle's just like, dude. I was like, plus? Oh. And Izuku's like, oh yeah, that's right. Plusle! And then it would be like, oh, wait. Plusle, what are you doing? And Plusle would be like so scared. It would just start sparking up, like sparking up a lot. And then all of a sudden, like Izuku would be like, that's it. That's the attack I need to use. Right on that wave. And War Turtle hears this and it's like, oh shit. And that's whenever it knew, that's whenever War Turtle knew that it effed up. And Izuku's just like, he just reaches his hand up in the air, and it's like, Plusle, use Thunderbolt! And just thunder comes from the sky, and it begins to surround Plusle, and it shoots out, and directly into the wave, and since, look, War Turtle is racing on the wave, it gets shocked the hell out, and it falls into the wave, and gets shocked some more, and bonks on the head when it falls down, and so, like, War Turtle is just like, please kill me. just like, just, oh my god. And then World Turtle gets another bonk, but this time it's by a Pokeball. And then all of a sudden it's like, beep, do, 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 like, click, do, 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 do. And Izuku just like shouts to the world, I caught a War Turtle! And he knows from fighting it that it knows surf, so he should be able to get up there. Like, and he even remembers, like, Shoto actually is like, Mina, didn't you say that Izuku got something from one of the past two gym leaders that he fought that you wanted to keep for safe, keep for safekeeping, and later, you know? And it's just, Mina's just like, oh yeah, Endeavor wanted to give you this. And basically, it's a disc. And Izuku's like, what's this disc all about? And Mina's like, also, there's another disc that Kamui Woods gave you. These are, I believe, technical machines? And Shoto's like, yeah, technical machines. You can use it to teach moves to your Pokemon. And Izuku's like, oh yeah, how could I forget? Oh man. And apparently these are reusable. They've made it to where they're reusable nowadays. Let's see. What are the two technical machines I got? Okay. From Kamui Woods, from fighting him, I got Cut. Useful for cutting down giant trees that are in our way. I've never been able to thank you more, man. And it's like, okay, what's this technical machine that I got from your father, Shoto? It says that the technical machine's name is Flash. Flash? And Mina brings up, oh yeah, that would be useful for the Darkness Caverns. You just have to find a Pokemon that can learn Flash, or learn Cut. For if we come across any big amounts of foliage, we have to hack through real quick. And Izuku is just like, and it's just like, Izuku was just like, okay then. Hmm. Cut and flash. Hmm. And Shoto's like, I heard that the third gym, getting Orca's gem, whenever you defeat him, he's supposed to give you the technical machine for strength that will help move large boulders, larger than most could even fathom. And Izuku's like, thanks, man. And it's just like, the fist bump. And Mina's just like, hmm, so, if we manage to beat that gang Orca, if you manage to beat gang Orca, Izuku, you'll have strength, flash, cut, and, well, your Pokemon already knows Surf. And he's just like, that's right. And Bakugo just comes around and he's like, what about a Pokemon that knows the move Surf? I've been looking for freaking eons. And Izuku's like, well, here's the thing. You might uh, need to wait a little bit longer because I just seem to have struck gold before you did this time. You may have gotten your Pokemon to evolve to its full extent, but I have this. And he just shows a Pokeball, and Bakugo's like, what? And he's just like, oh, like, what? And Bakugo's looking through War Turtle's moves on the Pokedex, and it's like, what, sir? You gotta be kidding me! It's like, and it's just like, and it's just War Turtle knows Surf, and Mina actually brings up something, and Shoto actually also brings this up after Mina brings it up. It's like, how are we all going to fit onto War Turtle whenever it's using Surf? And it's just, well, and Izuku actually thinks of something. Well, you guys, maybe we could split the technical machines in between us. I mean, I'm pretty sure last time I checked that either Bellsprout or Shinx can learn the move Flash. So, and he just tosses the technical machine for Flash over to Mina. And as for cutting things, I don't know if you have any Pokemon at the ready that can cut, like use such a move. So, out of the kindness of my heart, and the fact that I don't want you to make feel you too bad, Bakugo, are there any Pokemon that you have that can learn the move Cut? Basically, because Shoto, like, none of the Pokemon like Shoto had could, like, learn Cut. And Bakugo's just like, well, all I had to do was ask. Well, I guess. I could always be so nice to show you my finds. Though it's not a water type that knows how to use surf, it is a rather interesting type of Pokemon. And Izuku's like, what do you mean by interesting? I mean, I'm kind of getting a little scared here, Bakugo. You're kind of scaring me. And Bakugo just throws his Pokeballs, and he throws a, and War Turtle just sees this thing, and it's just like, Staff, 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 staff. And Izuku was like, you got a Stuffle? And it's just like, Izuku, like Bakugo is just like, yep. And I think teaching it this move it could yield some promising results. And so, and you guys might be wondering, like, why wouldn't he teach it to his Salandit? Guys, if I haven't made it clear soon enough, like, he hates his Salandit, so why would he teach it a technical machine? So instead, I mean, bears have claws, and Stuffle and Beware, Stuffle's evolution, are based off like teddy bears or bears. And claws cut things, they can cut things, so I think Stuffle could indeed possibly be able to learn cut. And if it can in the games, I don't care. This is my own head canon. I mean, come on, I've already like integrated several like aspects of My Hero Academia into this. So come on, come on, guys. Anyways, with that, basically Izuku also spreads word of Team LOV's whole thing with the radio tower that's on top of the heights. That, you know, they're still trying to figure out how, like, War Turtle would be able to get all three of them up there. And Bakugo's just like, well, why don't you guys make a freaking raft? Like, stop getting off your asses off idiot rock and make a freaking raft. And, like, rope to, like freaking tie around War Turtle, and you guys can all ride on the raft. And Mina's like, on an uphill waterfall? And Shoto's like, as much as I agree with Mina on how crazy that sounds, it's just basically, it's like, it's just, uh, Izuku just fist pumps and he's like, why didn't I think of that? And so, they do indeed do that. Like, War Turtle does have trust, because, like, if this guy's anything like that Ash Ketchum guy, who had their leader as a Pokemon, like, he's probably, pretty trustworthy. And basically, seeing as it's a freaking War Turtle, and like starters are supposed to be hype as hell, especially in the first gen whenever everything was broken AF. And so War Turtle is able to freaking paddle them like at rocket speed, blasting up again, all the way up to the top of the heights where they can see the radio tower. And that it has the insignia of the LOV, the Team LOV. It has that insignia on the top of the tower, kind of like a Batman signal. And so, I think this is a good place to start off as any. Is a cliffhanger. Yeah. Because, I got a lot of things stirring in the pot. I got like freaking another Tapu in this thing here. First Tapu Koko. Then I integrate Tapu Fini in this part, and then we meet Gang Orca before we even get the chance to see Zuko fight him, and basically we get told that even after going through the friggin' heights, like up the friggin' heights, freaking we need a Pokemon that surf. Like so much stuff was integrated in, and so yeah, I think this is a good point to leave off. Xena Dawson's because Darkshin Maverick is OUG out of here. Your boys, bye.